Hi everybody, it's me here. I'm Tim, and for today's video, I'm gonna do this little series on my channel about reading from my book, The Basement. And if you wanna read it for yourself or read the whole thing, I'm gonna do 3 chapters on here. But if you wanna read the whole thing, then just search up Tim Skinner, The Basement on Amazon, and then you could buy it on there on Kindle for $1 and on a copy like this for $10. So let's get this going. The Basement, Tim Skinner. The basement again. Introduction. The 12-year-old white-haired boy sat crisscrossed on the beautiful green grass with a syringe in his hand. He watched in pure satisfaction as the rabbit that he tied to his bike with clear string tried desperately to escape, but she had no hope in doing so. The boy worked a lot in the subject of biology, but what really intrigued him was mixing random chemicals together and testing them on any animal he could get his gritty hands on. His parents don't know that aspect of the process, of course. The kid whispered to the rabbit, "This will only hurt a lot," before jabbing the syringe through her. Another failed attempt, he wrote in an open notebook next to him. What a a-hole. Then part 1, missing pieces. Now this introduction plays a big part later on. It's not just random. Then chapter 1, drenched in despair. Tears trickled down my cheeks as I stared at the dark gray tombstone in utter disbelief. Thunder roared above my head. Wind came from all different directions, blowing fall leaves off trees and sending them soaring through the night sky. I stood there with a mixture of gratitude for all the years that we had together, but also pure sourness. The light that used to fill me with glee and content had been snatched away by the hands of death with no ounce of remorse. I used to think those hands were beautiful, but not anymore. They took away the only thing that was ever good, and left me in the middle of thick, smothering darkness. How the hell could someone this kind, compassionate, and wise be ripped away by the hands of death? Wait, no, sorry. Be ripped away from the world and be turned into a pile of ashes in a matter of days. It's supposed to make you think. I fell to the ground, buried my head in my hands, and began sobbing uncontrollably. 3 people sat around me on the wet grass. Oliver began patting my back while saying, "I'm sorry, I'm so, so sorry." "Do you really think your pity's gonna help her feel better?" called out Luna from behind the two of us. "Shut up, Luna," snapped Charles, sitting next to her. "Listen, I know you're going through a rough patch right now, and I can't even imagine what that must feel like. But I want you to know that we're all here for you," said Oliver. "Thanks," I muttered through my hands, feeling embarrassed by my outburst. "Ugh. It's only 6 in the morning, and y'all are gonna make me throw up already," said Luna. Oliver and Charles simultaneously stared at her, until I managed to let out a soft, tortured chuckle. I was laying flat down on the cool, hard floor of my room, staring at the white ceiling. I felt empty inside. My body was here, but I was gone. My eyes became heavy as my stomach continued to make weird noises. These are all supposed to be like symptoms of grief and depression. The last meal I had was 2 days ago, and I was so hungry. I could have swallowed a whole pig, but chewing was still too much of a bother. This was the end of life for me. There would be no drive to keep going, no chances to escape for a while. I couldn't even put on music without the sounds hurting my head. Everything around me keeps cracking, and I'm just waiting for it to shatter. Alright, stop. Enough lying around like a loser. Dad didn't raise a wimp, and if he was still here, He'd tell you to stop wasting your precious time on this earth and go do something, so I would. I weakly played I weakly placed both hands on the brown-tiled floor, sorry, and attempted to lift my body up, but failed and got pushed back to my original position with a hard thud. Grief and sadness had their hands on my shoulders, holding me down to the ground like superglue. Losing someone this close to you leaves a permanent mark. Curse warning. It sucks shit, believe me. Do you know what I would do to get my dad back? I'd take everything I ever loved and throw it in the garbage. Then I would take that garbage, smother it in gasoline, and burn it to a crisp. That's what I would do. Suddenly, a wave of extreme aggression came over me. It was too strong to contain. My anger turned to fire, making the hands restraining me turn to ash. I jumped up, grabbed a metal thermos off my table, walked up to the white wall, and started bashing my cup against it, over and over and over again. My right arm stung with pain, while a barely visible dent began on the wall, but not one bit of me cared. Suddenly, my door creaked open, and in walked my mother. She wore a baggy purple shirt, black pants, and had dark, messy hair. I stared at her, breathing heavily, the thermos to my side. I didn't let you skip school to stand there and wreck property like some deranged psychopath. Drop that cup before I drop you. Thanks for all the compassion, I said. Don't start your whimpering crap, Sarah. You need to stop playing the victim. How the hell am I playing victim? Oh, I hear you crying to your little friends. It's hard not to with how stupidly pathetic you sound. Shut up, I snapped. It's supposed to be like this nasty mom. Mary, my mom, stood there for a second in slight surprise, shook her head, and said, I'm going downstairs. I can't stand looking at your disgusting face anymore. I wish you were never born. Before stomping out of the room and slamming the door behind her. It would have saved me a lot of trouble, she mumbled, before the distant sounds of her footsteps got quieter, then disappeared. Yeah, that's good. Your dad's dead and your mom's a bitch. You better start getting as mad as shit about it, I told myself. And that was chapter 1, and the chapter 2 video is coming soon. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.